Hi everyone, it's Dasher Dave here again, back for another crafting video. So, today we are going to make one of these. Okay, so hopefully you'll have seen this in the thumbnail, but it's a little lumium that you can't really see in the light. So we're going to make this, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's see if I can put that back on its base so that it can give it a fighting chance. I might try turning the light off. If this goes wrong, then who knows what's going to happen. So I don't know whether you can see that, but it lights up. It's got little lights, little vellum bits to make it look like you've got twinkly lights on it. So I'm just going to take that out so that you can kind of just show it with a light through it. So it's just got these dots on it to represent lights. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make it. Dead simple. Another nice little simple thing, boxy thing. Now you could turn it into a box and give it to somebody as a gift with something in it, but I'm just going to show you how to make it as aluminum. So we're going to need some card. This is American cardstock, which I can't remember the pound weight, but it's the standard American cardstock that I've got left. I've got some vellum that's just plain white vellum. If you've got coloured vellum, this is a great opportunity for that. But I've just got some white. It's actually tracing paper. It's thicker tracing paper from our old, that's what we used to be called, groundwork leads. So I'm going to put that to one side because I don't need it just yet. I'm going to move that to one side. You're probably going to need 2 lots of the 12 by 12 to make the base and the sides, but I will show you how in a second. So what you need to do is you need to make yourself a template first. Okay, so in order to make a template, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this to the same size as that, which is 8 high and 4 wide at the base. Okay, so I'm going to just do the, let's find one of the sides that's straight first, Dave. Let's do it that way. So this, I'm just using some Amazon packaging. So we're going to go 8 high. I'm going to go 4 wide. So it's 8 by 4. Okay, so then what I do is you need to find the midway point of this. Now you could just do a measurement and use a pair of scissors. Use a pencil, or you could just stick it on your on your cutting board. Put it at the 2 mark, and then just put a little tiny nick in the top, which will tell you that's the halfway mark. And that's just doing it with 1 tool rather than doing it with 2. Then what you're going to do, you're going to take your ruler and or a pair of scissors or whatever. So if you're confident cutting from this corner to that corner in a straight line, do so. I am not. If you're not and you don't have a blade, then use a pencil, draw down either side and then cut it. But I am fairly confident these days with a blade. He says, not being able to find it. Oh, there it is. So I'm going to go from that top point, the midway point, down to this bottom corner, and I'm going to cut that bit off. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it over and do the same on the other side. So to that top point there, down to that bottom corner, and we're just going to cut that bit off. Okay, so those bits are waste, and this is your template now, and that'll give you a nice template to be able to do all the other bits with. So what you're going to do is take one of your sheets of paper. Just going to take a drink of water. So once you've got that, you've had your drink of water. Then what we're going to do is you're going to use this as a template. You're going to put this on your card. And what you want to do is kind of give it a bit of an idea as to how much you're going to use. So you can just flip it over and see whether you're going to get 4 sides out of it, which we should do. So We put this down with the flat side down and into the corner, and we're just going to pop that down on there, get it straight at the bottom, and then you're going to need a pencil. I do have this one, but alas, the pencil lead has disappeared from that, so I shall use this one. So you're just going to draw a line down one side. That's why best thing to do is to make a template out of something nice and thick, piece of card, Amazon packaging, perfect. Obviously if it's a paper bag, not perfect, but an Amazon, it's one of those hard envelopes. So there we go. So I don't know whether you are going to be able to see that line. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to see that line, to be fair. The pencil wasn't working very well, so let's try again, Dave. Into that corner, flat at the bottom. Try again, see if we can get it a visible line this time. It's going, that's another one with the pencil lead going in it. Right, try again. Third time lucky, eh? That's better. Yes, definitely got a pencil line that time. Okay, so I've drawn that bit in, okay, and then what you want to do, you can definitely see that now, we've got a pencil line. Then what you want to do is you want to put this straight edge against this straight edge, get your point up, lined up, and your corner lined up with, and that corner should then line up with the base of your card. Butt it up, and hopefully you can see here, you can just see the pencil line, but it is butted up to it. Okay, and then we're going to draw in your other line. So that's that side there, and also your bottom this time. Okay, and then you're going to take that off, and then you're going to move it over, and you're going to put it on to the next bit. So again, get your points. You want to just be able to see the pencil line. This point should line up with this point down here. Line it up. Like I say, you just want to see be able to see the pencil line. Don't cover the pencil line up. There we go. Drawing your bottom, and it's four-sided, so this is our third side, I believe. Yeah, it is. So then we're going to pick it up, and we're going to just turn the page a little bit round so that it's easier to work with. And again, put this corner up to this corner. On the pencil line, you can just see it, and then put the bottom line in, and then the last edge. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you're just going to put that line in. I'm just going to make sure we can see that line. As long as you can see it when you're doing it, that's fine. So we've got 4 panels, yeah. And we just need a gluey tab bit now. So the best thing to do is to come up from this corner, up, like, you know what a tab shape's like. So up from that corner, and then down from that corner, and then just, it doesn't have to be straight, so, and then just join those 2 lines together with your pencil lead. That's no wonder they don't last very long. There we go, so they've joined up. So now we've got a tab to be able to attach all of these panels, okay. And then we just want to cut this out. Now you could use your guillotine to cut all of these lines, but I'm just going to use a pair of scissors. Okay, so I'm going to cut along the bottom lines first. You're not going to cut these pencil lines. This is all going to stay together. You're just going to cut round the outside of this shape. Bottom bit. Okay, going to cut round this panel that you've just made, so this tab. Like I say, it doesn't have to be perfect, it's only a tab. We're not looking for perfection here. It's going to be on the inside, nobody's going to see it. You might have to reshape it when you come to put it together anyway. So, because as you can see, there's going to be a lot of paper all meeting here. Otherwise, so on that bit there, and then down this side on, which is the very outer edge of this line. Except for some reason, there's a bit of a hump there. I think my nail must have been in the way. We won't cut that shape out. We'll just make a straight line there. There we go. So that's cut off, okay? So you can keep it, utilize it however you want. Okay, so now what we do is we're going to need to score these lines. Okay, so in order to score them, I have one of these scoring tools with the metal tips to it. If you don't have one of these, then what you can use is you could just use your plastic style ones, your Teflon style ones, or if you don't have either of those, you can just use a pair of scissors that are together, but just use the very tip like this as a scoring tool. But just be careful if you're using these, don't press down too hard, you will tear your paper. So what we're going to do is, where we've got those pencil lines now, we are going to do a score line. So I'm going to butt that up to that pencil line. Yeah, I'm going to take my scoring tool. I'm actually going to use the narrower end here, and I'm just going to put a score line on there. Okay, turn it round, do the next bit. Make sure it's on that pencil line and score that in. Okay, I'm going to turn it round, do the next line, and including your tab you will have 4 lines. And that one, and then your tab on the very end. What's your tab? Okay, so what we need to do now is put these folds in. Now, because you've only scored them with just pressure, you just need to be quite careful about how you do it. Pinching it, and make sure that goes in. And then once you know it's there on the right bit, you can score that in. Okay, then you're going to come round again to this next bit. You're going to pinch that line in. And then once you know it's there, you can score it. And the same for the last 2 lines. Pinch it first, score it when you're confident, and then with your tab. If you just put your finger underneath, it just gives it a guide. It's the bit that you can do with your finger underneath anyway. And once that's there, score that one in as well. Okay, so as you can see here, you won't be able to do this because it already crosses this line. So you just want to cut that shape now. So what you can do is you can just cut it. Oh, I wasn't talking to you, that's why, Alexa. So Alexa just suddenly came on. I'm not quite sure why. So now you can see we've cut it at a sharper angle and it doesn't interfere with this panel at all now. Okay, so once we've done that, we're going to decorate this one a bit more fancily, if that is such a word, Dave. So we're going to put some panels on this one. So I didn't do that with my prototype. I'm going to do it with you guys. So I'm going to use some panels. I'm going to use some gold panels on the side of these. Okay, so how to make your panels? Well, you're going to take your template, yeah, and you're going to cut a bit off it, okay? So we're just going to cut it down. And we're going to cut it down by however much you want your panel to have around the border, okay? So think about that how much do I want it to be, and cut off whatever you want. Okay, so if you don't want to put the panels on, don't put the panels on, but I'm going to put some panels on. So if I cut that much off on this side, I can use that then as my template for the other side. Now you do want to make sure you cut your other sides down, otherwise it won't be the right shape. Okay, lay that on there. That'll give you a guide. That's about the same size. Move that out of the way. Cut that bit down. Yeah, and then you're going to do just the bottom bit now. Rest that on there. This is just the easy way to do a panel and make sure that you're cutting the same amount off each of the sides. And cut the bottom off. Because it's a triangle, there are only 3 sides to cut bits off. So I've got this gold stuff, okay, so that's going to be my panel, and that's going to sit on each of the sides, okay, so I'm going to do gold panels on this one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it onto here, and so that I can use as little paper and as fewer cuts as possible, in fact I'll do it on the back because that's easier to draw on, Dave, I am going to alternate its orientation. So I'm going to put a line down here across the bottom. Now obviously if you've got a cutting machine, you could do all of this on your cutting machine, but if you don't have a cutting machine, I want to show you how to do it without. You don't have to have one, so you just want to make sure you go all the way around this. Just put these on, do 4 panels because you've got 4 sides. I'm butting them right up to each other, so that means that when I do this cut line, it does the cut line for both sides. Both panels, I mean. And then just the one last panel. So you might have to move it down your paper a little bit. This is a A4 sheet of paper. Cardboard, actually. Not worrying about the pencil mark on the reverse side, nobody's going to see it. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this, and I'm actually going to use my paper trimmer. I think I'm going to anyway. So I've got a crosshair on here, so I've got like a twangy, like a guitar string. That's an out of tune guitar string, but it's like a guitar string. And I can use that as my guide as to where my blade will cut. So cut down there. Put this on again. Use that crosshair as my guide. All of my panels out, but you know, you could use a pair of scissors or whatever, or you, like I say, if you've got a cricket or a brother or a silhouette, you could do all of this on there. So just, I do have such things, but where's the fun in that? This would be a very short video if I just sat and just did all of that. So I'm going to be really quick and just cut this, freehand cut this. So if it's not a straight line, we know why, because Dave's cutting is terrible. So just cutting all the bottoms of these off. There we go. So these are going to be our panels that go on here. So I'm going to glue these in, and then I'm going to show you how I made the holes. So Now you've got to remember that this that I'm showing you how to make is only, you're listening to me now, only for battery operated candles. It is not, listen to me, not for actual flames, okay? Because it's made of cardboard, and you can imagine what the two together might create. You know, you could have your own little internal bonfire, which is not, you know, nobody wants that house burnt down for Christmas, so, and I don't want to be responsible for that, so I am telling you now, you must only use battery operated candles in these things. Anything, not just my channel, anybody's, where you're making anything with paper, you should never put a naked flame near it, even if it's been fire retarded. Fire retarding does not fireproof. It retards fire. It eliminates fire instantly. It doesn't stop it happening. So it's a limitation rather than an expulsion. So that's probably not the term I wanted to use, but you catch my drift whatever way. So catch my drift, how old am I? So please just be very careful. I've seen some very silly people do some very silly things with paper, and you know, there's a whole thing for doing carrier little paper bags with candles in, and again, only for battery operated candles. They are not for real naked flame candles. So do not, doesn't matter how much you get told in a video that you can, don't. I'm telling you, don't. So also, a lot of these videos that are on TikTok, and I don't mind short form videos, you know, I've done a few of my own, but I don't like doing loads of them because I know that they're popular, and I know that people have a very short attention span. You know, goldfish rival our attention span these days. But it's taking stuff out of context. If you only have 30 seconds of something, you're not going to get the context of something, and that's what I found that a lot of these short form videos do, is they, it's like, I know it sounds like I'm doing a public information film now, but they take it all out of context, and then you don't know what, like, it's very often like the same with some of the crafting things. Although it's not dangerous, you know, there'll be, you just do this, and this folded, but then they don't actually tell you the next step, and then like it's supposed to be ta-da, and you're sat there with a pile of paper on your desk thinking, what do I do next? So, but it's dangerous when it comes to, you know, dangerous things, so like fire. So just be careful, people. You've been told. You've had your public information film warning from Dave. We want a dash of Dave, not a dash of danger. So, okay, so there, all those panels are on there. I'm just going to smooth them down a bit. Okay, so there are our panels. So our tree shape is going to be like this. Okay. And then what we're going to do is going to make the holes in the panels. So how did I make the holes in the panels? Now, several ways. You can use your big bite. You can use as far as it will reach on your, what's this called? We Are Memory Keepers crocodile. You can use just a normal hole punch. You can use an anywhere punch. It's one of these that bores holes, okay? I'm going to use this because it's nice and simple. So what I did was, just like on my prototype, I did some with the bigger hole on one side and some with the smaller hole on the other side. And all I did was I created random holes. I wasn't looking for a pattern or anything. So kind of just line it up put your hole punch through and then just create some random holes. And we're just going to go all the way through, all over it. The more random it is, the better it looks, because it's more random. I say, Dave, what are you talking about? Someone like, you know what you're talking about. You'll find that sometimes the holes don't actually go through. You just need to pop them out. Okay, there's another one there. Just going to finish doing the random holes on this side. I find it really hard to be random, but even I can do this. So, okay, so you might want to go in from the top bit to get the top one in. So I did it, like I say, alternate panels, but you can do whatever pleases you. If you want all little holes, or you might want to use some other punches that you have. You might want to do it on your Cricut or your Silhouette or your Brother and actually pre-cut the holes in different shapes. You could have them bauble shaped or whatever. So that's that. I'm just going to poke all those holes out. Like that. And then we're going to change the hole size. No, he's not. Is he going to change the hole size? He is. Just couldn't do it. There we go. And then we're going to do bigger ones on this side. Can't remember where I am now. There you go. I feel like there should be one there. So I've put one there. Oh, and I want one in the middle there somewhere. But off the middle. There we go. Cool. It's fine. And see, told you, struggle with random. Actually start at the top, Dave, because then that'll help you figure out spacing. And I'm staying within the panel area, obviously. There we go. So that's it. That's all. Now, I will just say you will get loads of these little bits. Just get rid of them because they will end up everywhere. Trust me, I found one in my belly button the other night. So, there we go. So that's that. So now what we're going to do is we're now going to make the bits on the inside. So the bits on the inside are just as simple. You're going to take the same panel that you cut for that you used for cutting your panel shapes, and then we're going to take our vellum. Just get a couple of sheets of this, or tracing paper, or whatever you have. But this is just thicker, good quality tracing paper. I've just got two lots together here, and I'm going to just put them on here. I'm going to use this line as one of the edges, and I am going to. Now, I would suggest that you draw first and then cut, but Dave's going to be just throw himself into the whole thing and didn't even cut anyway, so let's line it up again. Now you don't have to worry about these being perfect, because these are going on the inside, the bit that nobody's going to see. So I'm just going to do a line there, a line there. So don't do it like this, like I'm doing. I'm only doing it to speed it up a bit. The only reason why I say don't do it like this is because you do run the risk of cutting into your template. See, I didn't even follow the same line on that one. So you're going to need one of these for each of the panels that you've just cut. So you could change this up and have it as a three-sided Christmas tree if you want to. That's your choice. All you would do then is you'd only draw on 3 panels, 3 Christmas tree shapes, and then you would put the tab on the final one, which is the 3rd one, and then you'd only need 3 of everything. So, but then I'd struggle with the whole random thing if you were doing that. Different, like which one do you do twice, Dave. Shut up, Dave. Let's try and get those lines lined up a bit. Try not to do this, Dave, this time. Let's actually use a pencil this time. Showing off, you see, that's what it is. So hold them together, snip that off. All the way down that side, and then cut off the bottom. And it only really has to cover the area on which the holes are on. So, get those off. Move that out of the way. So, now what we're going to do is, we're going to do a bit of colouring in, okay? So we're going to get I've got some Spectrum Noir, which are alcohol markers, and that's what I'm going to use. You can use felt tips or whatever, they don't have to be anything specialised. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to pick which one I'm going to use as your panel. See, it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, put it down, and I would suggest then you put it onto a white surface, because you can see your spots. See how the spots are much more visible now. I know it's going to be there, so I'm just going to colour these in. These random colours in. Now this would be great if you've got like some leftover coloured tissue paper, or you had some sweet wrappers, you know, that are like the clear cellophane style. You could use whatever you like on this bit. Make it yours, make it, you know, make it special, just make it different. And like, this is great, again, another great thing to get kids involved in. Hang on a minute, Dave, that's exactly the same colour. Get a yellow one. And we're just going to go all the way through until I'm happy. Oh, that's a horrible colour. Oh well. It's down, it's on, I'm using it. There we go. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it down. Something has just fallen off, and I have no idea what that is, but so what I do is rather than gluing the vellum, which I was about to do, is I glue round the things so that they kind of just stay stuck a little bit, and then a little bit around the edge. But like I say, you don't have to worry about it being glued in properly. Just line it back up over those spots. And you're going to do that on all your sides. So I'll come back to you in a few minutes. In fact, I'm going to do it slightly differently this time. Okay folks, so that's it. I've done all of my colouring in. So like I say, it doesn't look pretty on the inside, but it will do on the outside. So all we're going to do now is we're going to glue it together. So you're just going to fold down your flap so that it's there, and then marry the two edges together. So we're just going to put some glue on here. So you always want to make sure you get glue on the very edge. That's the bit that you're going to see from the outside. Get my glue to come out. That's a good start. Now you don't want to put, although I said go right up to the edge, you don't want to put loads of glue on the edge, because that's the bit where it'll squeeze out from. I mean, more glue further back is fine, but you do want to make sure that you cover that edge. If you do think you've put too much on there, you can just smooth it out, or smooge it out if you like. It's entirely up to you. Just go up to the top and then fold it up together and then close it. Now, as I say, once you've got it there, you should be able to just fold it over, because you've got equal sides, and just press it together. So fold it flat. So you could do this as a Christmas card. You could send that to somebody, they make it up themselves, pop it, stand it up like that, and then they could put their tea light inside, well, underneath, and that would be their little Christmas card that you've made them, you know, etc. If you want to make a base for it, the base is very simple, and I'll show you how I did the base. So all I did was took another piece of cardboard, and that's the reason why you've got two sheets. If you don't want to make the base, then that's fine. Because we know the base of this is 4, we need to make sure that this is 4 for the base, but we need to make an edge. Now all I did was I gave it a 1/2 centimetre edge. So that means that we're going to cut this at 5 by 5. Okay, so I'm just going to cut my paper down to 5 by 5, and we'll be able to make a base for it. Take a scoreboard, and we're just going to score at 1/2 centimetre, sorry, 1/2 inch on one side, turn it round, and just go all the way round, all 4 sides. Okay, so that's going to be your base. Now how are we going to make that? I'll show you. So you're just going to cut it like you would do with a normal one, but we'll just fold it first. Fold all of those creases in. Okay, open it all out, and now just the same way as I make any box, I'm going to snip on those lines. I always do it, cut one, turn it, cut one, turn it. Okay, so we've gone all the way round. Now what you need to do is you need to cut your tab out, shape out. Okay, but you're also going to cut a little bit out of this. It's very similar tab shape there. So you've got a tab, what looks like a tab on both sides. Let's just cut that down a bit. Okay, and we'll go round and I'll do that again. So you're not being accurate, you're just cutting a triangle out the same size as you do for your tab. And that will give you that sloped side that you need for it to sit in the base of your Christmas tree. So you're just going to cut that triangle out there and there. Okay, so now what you need to do is you're going to fold in all your tabs, and then what you're going to do is you bring it forward, and you're going to line those lines up, and as you'll see, they instantly create a sloped side, which means it'll fit inside your Christmas tree. So where's my glue? Put glue on the tab up to the edge. glue on the tab up to the edge, lean it in, and then pinch it there. And I'm just going to put a peg on that so that I can go around the other sides. So we're going to do the same again. So I'll show you again what I'm doing is you're actually leaning it in so that that tab fully meets the base there. You see how it's bending right the way over, and then when you flip that up, that will marry up on that edge, so you create that sloped bit. And I'll show you that when I've finished it. You'll be able to see much clearer when I've done all of the sides and the peg's not in the way. Like I say, there's no accuracy on it, so that's clearly not cut enough because it keeps pinging out. Try again. There we go. That's better. And cut it off the tab. And then last one. All the way in so that it leans in. Move that to that one. Hold that and pinch it. I don't think I've got any more pegs now. Oh, I do. There. Okay, so just give that a minute while I just put the lid on my glue. Okay, so now what we've got is, let's just get rid of some of this out of the way, and then we can look at what we've done. Okay, so let's take those off. So now what you've got is you've got that slight sloped shape. It just slopes up a little bit, okay, and leans in, and that just means that it's going to be more likely to be able to fit your the bottom of your tree, because it'll mirror the sloped sides of it. Now don't worry about it if it doesn't quite fit. A bit of bending and it will go in. The first time putting the base on will be a bit more difficult, but it'll go on. There you go, that's your base. And you could always make that with so you glue one side in, and like I say, you can make it into a box and then you can give it to someone, or you could just take it apart, leave it like that. Don't bother with that because you don't need it, and then they could have that as a Christmas card, and then they could do their own thing. Now if you wanted to make a topper for it, then you just make a star for it, and I've shown you how to make a star in the last video. So we made stars, we made bigger ones here, but you can make a teeny tiny one of those, couldn't you, that went on the top of there. You could make two back to back, glue them together. So yeah, there you go. So that's just another little Christmassy thing to kind of get you in the spirit. So that's my prototype, and that's the one we've just made together on camera. So like I say, just another little Christmassy thing. I'm really trying to get myself in the mood for Christmas, and hopefully I'm getting you in the mood as well. So Dave, that really did not do that very well this time. It's not going to stay on now, is it? Because it's just going to be a pain. You know what it is? It's catching on my vellum because I was cheeky and didn't glue my vellum down properly. Rushing it. There we go. That's on. So that's those two. Hope you like those. Something you might give a try of. Don't forget, you know, my name is Dasher Dave, and I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to. Right, I'm going to go off. I'm going to go and get something to eat and something to drink. I'm going to get myself warm because I don't think the heating's come on yet. Oh, it has. Just not very warm in this room. So I will see you all very soon. Take care. Lots of love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye. Big hugs. Bye.